Hello everyone, it's me again. In case you didn't see in my last video, here I am dismantling the altar to Paschal Beverly Randolph. Now, that sounds a bit dramatic. I'm probably not going to dismantle it completely, and I'll for sure leave some token of veneration for him on my regular altars. But it's out of control. 2 weeks later, and what tends to happen, I'm going to admit, is I build altars, they look magnificent, I have all these grand plans, and then they just gather dust, essentially, and the potency fizzles away. Now, I don't want that to happen. I need to shut my door. Yeah, I don't want that to happen in this case. So, as I said in my last video, in case you didn't see it, I had all these grand plans to make a video in honour of Dr. Paschal Beverly Randolph. There's the man himself, upon the book of tirelessly for his birthday, which was the 8th of October, I believe, Friday. I wanted to make a grand video, but it didn't happen. Now it's 2 weeks later, and I'd like to do something, so here I am, dismantling his altar, and I'm going to tell you about all his magical items. Now, as you can see, this stuff here, it is a working altar. Some of this writing on here is a bit private, actually, so I'm going to check back in and see if you can read it, because I hope bloody not. Okay, I mean, I think you'd have to be a fucking wizard or have amazing eyesight to read what's on there, but let's put Paschal Beverly Randolph centre stage here. So here is the altar. It's a little bit messy, but let's first start by lighting a candle to the man himself. Now, happy belated birthday, Paschal Beverly Randolph. Thanks for your great contributions to the world of Western Occultism. You may be largely overshadowed or relegated as a mere sex magician of that which you were, but your contributions to the Western occult milieu needs to be more acknowledged, and it's going to happen. So, to Paschal Beverly Randolph. Putting this on top, it's gonna be bloody hot. I normally forget, so let's see. If I burn myself on camera, I guess it will just add to the charm. Now, what I want you to know is I'm making this up as I go along. I do have plans to make a video of a map and, you know, less of my big white moon face in the middle, but today is not the day. So, I'm just gonna try, which was Paschal Beverly Randolph's motto. Just try is what he would say, so I'm trying. Third time lucky, this is my third video about the legend himself. And the word try was also, you can kind of still see it, it was inscribed on this large brown lump, smokable lump. Yes, let's just stop beating around the bush. It's a lump of hashish that I got for, especially for Paschal Beverly Randolph, because, well, for one thing, he was a great clairvoyant, and he travelled, so he independently travelled from the US in he was definitely there in 1860. He made 3 trips across the Atlantic, spent a lot of time in Paris and the UK, and also in the Middle East, so Egypt, Syria, where he was doing his research on magic, clairvoyance. He started his life as a spirit medium, and after going to France, he got more into Rosicrucianism and, you know, going up the grades of magical knowledge and these ideas of celestial hierarchies. But anyway, back to the hashish. So for him, in his practice, hashish was central to clairvoyance, and he encountered it first in France and in the Middle East. And so he had a very tricky relationship with hashish. Sometimes it would say it brought divine visions and light. Before he first encountered it, he'd been having a lot of mental strife as a spirit medium, I think he was finding it hard to distinguish himself from the spirits, and I think for him hashish helped him with that. But also he has a lot of writings where he says it sends men raving or into a slump. So I think he himself had quite a troubled relationship with hashish, as you can see. Well, when it was his birthday 2 weeks ago, this was a lot larger. I think little mice have nibbled away at it. But anyway, the ups and downs of hashish. Before the Civil War, he was the largest importer of hashish into the United States. And he was a doctor, self-trained, I believe. But he would make all these like elixirs and potions relating to sexual dysfunctions, amongst other things. And hashish was always a key component. He had this thing called protozone, which sounds pretty snazzy. And then these two elixirs called amiel and femal, something like that. Hashish central component. So thanks PBR for being an outspoken advocate of hashish sometimes. We also have here, I mean it's for Portugal, but a magic mirror, which is also central to his magical practice of communing with the dead and other realms, other spirit realms. So we have this magic mirror here. You might notice this little dot here. So I do not want to give pearls to a swine. I'm not going to talk too much about the ins and outs of his magical doctrine, but the initiatory stage is a volantia, which is basically it's a mode of concentration, to be honest, which I think is key to all magical practice. But basically, this little dot here, he encourages you to have a circle, fix a dot and focus on it, and then you look towards a white surface, and there's kind of an optical illusion. But this practice really helps you to like create forms or, visualize things. Now he also says a quick fire way of doing this is placing the dot in the middle of the magic mirror. He also says it's not for the faint-hearted, and I've tried this. I tried it once and it blooming freaked me out, and I'm not going to try it again anytime soon, especially not when I'm smoking hashish. Although Halloween is around the corner and that is the time for doing all this work. So we've got the magic mirror, we've got the hashish. What else do I have here? Well, also this lovely red wine, because he did spend a lot of time in France and he loved the finer things of life and the kind of elite circles. So we've got this red wine, which also has the volantia symbol on it of this circle with a dot. What else? This is kind of tie, which is fancy for him. So I did have, as I said, it's a working altar. I've been doing quite a lot of sex magic lately because he is the great sex magician. He was an outspoken advocate of the female orgasm in a time where it was like prudish Victorian values. So that was a great contribution of him. And I've been doing some magic related to that. I've also been making some cut-ups of his work, sticking it on some petals. I feel like I should have more to say, but at the moment I don't. So, happy belated birthday, Paschal Beverly Randolph. Oh, well, the book, actually, I should talk about, which is Creole Fire. So this is written by Tiana Lee McQuilla, African-American woman in the US, living now. It's like a fictional imagining of his time when he was in New Orleans. So, Paschal Beverly Randolph was a man of many talents. And during the Civil War years, well, for starters, he considered Abraham Lincoln to be a close personal friend of his. And during the Civil War, or probably just after the Civil War, during Reconstruction, he went to New Orleans to help teach freedmen. And so he was working in schools. He was the principal of the Lloyd Garrison School in New Orleans. And at the time, so as I said, he's a bit elitist. And I think he had maybe what might be considered problematic views on like voodoo and Afro-diasporic spiritual practices. But he was writing a book about the practices of people in New Orleans, which was never released. I think it was one of the great texts lost in the Boston Fire, which destroyed many of his works. But anyway, so this book is a fictional imagining of his time in New Orleans and an encounter with the daughter of Marie Laveau, the voodoo priestess as they called her. So Philom Legendre, is that how you say it? Philomene Legendre. I don't think that's how you pronounce it. Maybe I'll do a voiceover of how you actually do. It's real enchanting, and it really like brings it to life. Vivid, poetic, quite often written like in the poetic form, like the works of Paschal Beverly Randolph. I'd really recommend this book. It's just quite enchanting, and also help to bring characters to life and talk about some of the complex issues of New Orleans at the end of the Civil War, with the free black population, those who were civil leaders, and some people were even slave owners. So it's a great book. What am I saying? That's it. Cheers to Paschal Beverly Randolph, and cheers to sex magic of asserting will, conversing with spirits, grounding yourself in the body, and mutual orgasm. Bye bye.